We're back with AFCON 2025 again, and we're going to take a peep into the quarterfinals. And today we are starting with the big game between Ivory Coast and Egypt. And with me to do that is Mustafa. Warifa Marcos is here as well. My name is Stella Falabi. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. So this is going to be a tight match. It's going to be Ivory Coast midfield and build up and Diallo's creativity against probably one of the best defenses in this whole competition. Egypt has only given up 2 goals. Solid in defense. They rely on the transition rather than the midfield. And as Afolabi has already mentioned, they always play a high-octane, lung-bursting game. But against this Ivory Coast team, which is solid in midfield, they may not have the opportunity to have those breaks that they usually have because Ivory Coast has possession and will try to keep the ball away from them. So it's not going to be like Egypt versus South Africa where Egypt can take advantage of a team that makes mistakes or is not well organized due to the fault of the coach. Ivory Coast is going to hold that ball. But the question is that if Egypt does manage to give them a little bit of press and get the ball and go on a fast break, we know that Mamouche and Salah are dangerous. But the way I look at it, it's almost like a stalemate. Defense versus midfield and holding. So the question is, can Ivory Coast get enough creativity to try to unlock the defense of Egypt? We know that they can do it. They did it against Burkina Faso, but Burkina Faso is not Egypt. So I don't know how this game is going to end. I'm going to give the edge to Egypt 1-0 because I don't know if Ivory Coast has enough firepower to score. But once again, anything could happen. This is Africa. What are your thoughts, Falabi?
I quite agree with you because, we saw their defense play against a man deficit against South Africa, and they held out very well. So they have a very rock-solid defense. They have a goalkeeper that deals with balls very well.
Put it on mute. Go ahead.
Yeah, they have a goalkeeper that deals with aerial balls very well. So, in my own opinion, their defense is rock solid. And I see this game as a kind of seesaw. Both teams want to attack. So, they're not going to allow the opposition to have the edge. So, sometimes when Egypt is attacking, Côte d'Ivoire will try and steal the ball by pressing them. Sometimes when Côte d'Ivoire is attacking, Egypt will do the same. So it's going to be like a seesaw. I don't think Ivory Coast will want to allow Egypt to dictate the tempo and vice versa. So it's going to be, the possession stats is likely to be close, maybe 50-something, 40-something, thereabout. But like you rightly mentioned, Egypt is technically very good. They have players that can score goals. Mamouche is very deadly, although sometimes very wasteful. And they have the experience of Mo Salah, and there's Trezeguet as well. I think what Ivory Coast will try and do is that they have 2 young wingers that are very talented, Amad Diallo and Yan Diomande. They're going to try and isolate the Egyptian fullbacks with these boys and see how they can, unlock the Egyptian defense in 1v1 situations. I think that's their best route to scoring in this game. But like you said, I would give it to maybe Egypt in extra. Yeah. Egypt in extra.
Yeah, I'm thinking Egypt in extra time, 1-0, or maybe even penalties. But we'll see. And that Diallo guy, he's young. Those guys are good, but you're going to meet an Egyptian team. These guys are veterans out there, man.
Yeah, sure.
So we'll see. What are your thoughts, Mr. Warif?
Yeah. Well, this match, I target the battles of champions to champions. Yeah. Well, it's going to be an interesting match. It's like, because in this AFCON, we'll be having so many finals before the finals. I think Egypt Ivory Coast is going to be one of the finals before the finals. Now, the match is going to be an interesting one. Why? Because the 2 teams, they don't just sit back. They come out to play open football. One thing I will give it to the Egyptians is that they are fast and they are skillful. They are midfield. Like Afolabi said, and like you already said, and Salah and Mamouche, those guys that are well experienced. They play in one of the best clubs in the world. So I think it's going to be an interesting game. Therefore, Ivory Coast, this guy, what's his name? Diallo. Yeah. If they can pin Diallo, because he's like right now he's one of the engine room of this Ivorian team. So if they can pin him, it will be challenging for the Ivorians to deliver. But the main issue will be battle in the midfield. Whoever that wins the midfield will win the game. Whoever that wins this match, it will not be more than 2-1.
Yeah, I think that Ivory Coast is going to hold the ball more, but Egypt, even if just because you're holding the ball more and have more position, it doesn't mean you win the midfield, like you said, because the midfield is also midfield comes into play during transition too. When Egypt is transitioning from defense, can Ivory Coast stop their transition before the ball passes into attack? So it's going to be close. And I think Egypt also has the advantage in that. I think Egypt has more energy. Maybe Ivorians are fast, but Egypt can go fast all out throughout the whole game. They have more endurance. What do you think?
Endurance, that's
they're very, very fit. The Egyptians are very fit. And they don't get tired easily. They know how to slow down the tempo. They know how they can quicken the game. And if they score Ivory Coast first, it's going to be very difficult because the Egyptians can defend. They proved that against South Africa. The guy that
they'll play a mid-low block.
Yeah, mid-low block. The guy that got the red card in the first half. And they held their own throughout that game, and they were able to defend effectively. So that is where their strength lies. But then again, if Ivory Coast has to score first, it's going to be a tough one. Like I said, it's going to be a seesaw. I don't think any of the two teams will want to sit back in a low block for the other to dictate the tempo. So sometimes you see Egyptians attacking while Ivory Coast defends, and then you see the Ivorians trying to, set the tempo, and you see Egypt also trying to force the ball off them. So it's going to be like a seesaw.
And Ivory Coast defense, though, is not so steady also. That's another
they're not so steady. Certainly not as steady as the Egyptians.
No. All right. Okay, so good luck to both teams. I think we all agree that Egypt has a slight edge, but we'll see. Ivory Coast are the champions. Champions don't go down easy. Yeah. What do you think of Mr. All right, so let's go to the next one. Oh, no, what are you going to say, Mr. Last thought, Mr.
Yeah, I wanted to say champions, they don't go down easily. They go down fighting. So it's going to be
It may even be penalty or so. Yeah. Okay, so